Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we're going to talk about the actual cost for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 56-year-old male. Now, the first thing you want to understand is you could go directly to our website on just about every page at funeralfunds.com. We've got these quarters. You can pick the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way, and pick the coverage amount, birthday, and then just click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that shows you the best insurance companies with the best pricing in your state, and you can just use the same quarter that we use to help folks out. Be really educated. Make sure you get the best deal. You can also call us at 888-862-9456 if you want to talk with a service agent or a licensed agent. So first thing you need to decide, though, is, for a 56-year-old male, is $25,000 worth of insurance going to be enough for your final expense needs? Now, if you're going to be cremated, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you get cremated and have some sort of ceremony, like a remembrance of life or celebration of life ceremony, probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500. So obviously $25,000 is going to be enough. If you've got an existing policy, you can stop watching the video if that's the case. But if you don't have insurance, we would not recommend overinsuring. And a lot of times people would say, well, I just want to leave some money behind for my family or loved ones. And we just tell them that, really, this is probably not the right time to do it with this type of insurance. We really recommend you get this insurance for exactly what it's intended for. And that's just your final expenses. Instead of buying much more insurance that you need, that's going to be more expensive, use that money that you would save by getting just what you need and spend that savings on your family and loved ones and have those memories while you're alive, and you'll provide those memories for the rest of their life. So, just don't give extra money to the insurance company if you don't have to. At least that's how we think. Now, if you're going to have a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is it's right around $10,000 is what it is. Now, I can tell you one thing, that's not going to be a very fancy burial, that's for sure. But, we find it hard to believe that if you walked into a funeral home with a $10,000 check, they would not make things work out. Again, it'd be very modest, but they should help you out. Why would they turn away $10,000 and let that walk down the road to one of their competitors? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Again, we just don't want you to overinsure. So you just keep in mind that if all you can afford is like $5,000 or $5,000 for a cremation or, $10,000 for a burial, get that right now if that's all you can afford, because that will be so impactful for your family, for them not to have to come up with that money, because you can always add more coverage later. We help people all the time add to their existing coverage. So, one thing we do recommend is first day coverage or benefits. Now, a lot of people would say, well, I want first day coverage, but, those policies have health questions and I'm not in that great of health. And we just let them know that we work with enough different insurance companies that if you do have some health issues, it's typically not an issue. We've got a 95% approval rate for first day coverage or benefits. Now, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issues going on, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you were going to pass away in the next 12 months, or maybe you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or in a hospital, or in a nursing home. We'd recommend you out to a different insurance company if that were the case. The other thing that happens is, it seems like every week we get a call from somebody that says, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week, and they didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. And the body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home's not going to do anything till they get a check in the hand. So we need to get this insurance really quickly so we can get a check to the funeral home. And we have to let them know there is no insurance company in the United States that offers policies on people who've already died. So it's sad to tell people that, but it's just like, why did that person that passed away, why did they not take care of this? Why did they leave this burden to their family? And now their family's just suffering, not only financially, but emotionally. Why would you ever do that to your family, the people that you love more than anybody else in the world? Why would you do that? So don't be that person. Don't do that. Knock it off. One thing we also don't recommend is 2-year waiting period policies. Now, Colonial Penn is fairly well known out there. They're, they advertise a lot. It seems like, every 7 minutes they've got a TV commercial playing for their $9.95 plan. And but you got to consider the $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period. Why would you do that? Why would you want a policy that won't pay out for any health or medical cause of death in the first 2 years? Don't understand it. There's other companies out there too that are 2-year waiting periods, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha product, AIG Gerber, and there's other companies out there too. That's the only thing they sell is 2-year waiting period policies. And some of those companies have done a really good job of convincing the American public, over age 50, that the only thing they qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period. And nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, we laugh when they try to do that, because that's all we help people with is first day coverage or benefits. So why would you accept a 2-year waiting period policy? Another thing with Colonial Penn specifically, a lot of 56-year-old males would think, for $9.95, I could probably get, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for $9.95. And then they go on the website for Colonial Penn, or talk with their agents, and they find out the truth, that you don't actually get a lot of coverage for $9.95. So for a male, age 56, $9.95 will buy 1 unit of coverage, which only provides $1,370 worth of coverage. That's not even enough for a cremation in almost all parts of the United States. So, and that's if you died today. But you got to keep in mind it's a 2-year waiting period policy. So this policy is going to be worth less, due to inflation in 2 years. So the $9.95, it's pretty amazing marketing, actually. But boy, I tell you what, looking online, it sure generates a lot of complaints, because people think they're going to get a lot of insurance, and they don't get a lot of insurance. So let's see how much coverage we can get. The challenge with Colonial Penn is, for a 56-year-old male, is they don't offer even amounts of coverage. You end up with these wackadoodle numbers like 1,370, 1,370. So we're going to max it out. 15 units, that's the max you can get. That's going to be $149. With Colonial Penn for a 56-year-old male, all you can get is $20,550. And that's going to be $150. But can you save money by going with first day coverage? Oh, I can assure you, you can. So let's take a look here. $25,000, male, 56 years old. Let's hit the get quote button right there. And again, this is going to be $20,000 for $150, roughly, just rounding numbers. We can actually get $25,000 for $81. So I'm just going to round numbers. That's roughly $70 more a month. That's roughly $840 more a year. And if you live another 10 years, that's going to be $8,400 roughly that you will overpay just by choosing the wrong insurance company. Boy, I tell you what, that makes no sense at all to overpay, especially when it's going to be a plan that's got a 2-year waiting period. Ouch. That would hurt. Don't make that mistake. Don't do that. Let's look for another company here that kind of advertises quite a bit. Let's see. Oh, like Lincoln Heritage. They're Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess. Level coverage, $125. So they've got a deal where if you pass away in the first, actually when you pass away, they will call 2 or 3 different funeral homes to kind of get you the best pricing. And they will do a few other things, but they charge a premium for it. It costs more money. That's $125. Let's compare $125 to 81. So they say 85, roughly $40. I'm just going to round numbers. Roughly $40 more a month. That's going to be $480 a year over 10 years, that's going to be $4,800. So a lot of people would say, well, if they're just going to call 2 or 3 places and maybe do a couple other things, but it's going to cost $4,800, that seems a little bit expensive, maybe a little excessive. And we're not saying it's not worth it, but $4,800 is a lot of money. We'd rather see you keep that in your own pocket, spend that on yourself or your family while you're alive, enjoy it, and everybody has better memories than if they were to just give that to an insurance company executive. Yikes. So don't do that. Let's see. Another company's out here. And you'll be able to see all these different insurance companies like Lumico's 170 or 106. Roughly 20, I'm just going to say roughly $25 more a month. That's $300 a year, an extra $3,000 after 10 years. Why do that? Just don't give money away. Don't be silly. Be a smart shopper. So go to Funeral Funds of America. You can click on our quoter here. We've got a special quoter page for our YouTube watchers. That's funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And you get the best discounts and special pricing based on your situation. You can also call us at 888-862-9456 if you want to talk with a live person. And whether you've got an existing policy and you want to add coverage to it, or if you just want to price shop your current policy to see if we can save you money, or if you need a brand new policy, or if you just have any questions, just reach out to us. Give us a call. We are happy to help, and we would love to chat with you. Until that day comes, you stay safe. You take care. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.